Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I want to show you how to install a ceiling fan. Now your first step, if you have an old ceiling fan, is to get that one off. And the first thing that I did was take the blades off, just to make it easier to get around. So once you do that, you can shut your power off. That would be the best thing to do. You don't want to attempt to do any wiring or disconnect anything until you got the power disconnected, either outside or some kind of circuit breaker that you may have going to your old ceiling fan or your outlet, because this could be a flat cover also. So you just want to make sure that your room is you have no power going to where your ceiling fan is going to be mounted to. So do that first. Now if you have an old light to take down, or an old light kit that you want to take down, you can unscrew it, usually between the blades and the light itself. Like this section will unscrew. So there's a screw there. There was a screw in there. And then this light kit can be disconnected if you want to reuse your light kit. Now if you're taking just down the whole fan, you can leave it the way it is, or just so things don't break, I went ahead and took out the light bulbs, and then I took out the glass pieces from the light kit. And usually those will have screws in them, 1, 2, or 3 around the sides. Or like this one, you just pull it, and these metal tabs will hold it in place. Like you push it in, and then the metal tabs push out to hold the glass in place. So once you feel comfortable with something you can carry down with you, once it's disconnected, it's not that heavy. You want to disconnect it before you take it off the mount. You can verify that there's no power going to your wires with a multimeter if you like. That way, you can be sure that there's no voltage going to your fan. So what I'm doing now, I'm just disconnecting all the end caps, and you don't really need to remember what goes to what, because it's just black to black, white to white, green to copper, which is the ground. Your black's going to be your hot, your white's going to be your neutral, and then let's see, this one has a blue or red for a light kit. So all right, once you feel comfortable that you've disconnected everything, you can grab it by the extension or the bottom of the light kit, or if there's no light kit, just the bottom of the fan. You just push up and pull it towards you. If the gap is towards you, and then your old fan should come right out. Now when you open the box for your new fan, you're going to have your blades, and you'll put those on last, along with your light kit. You're going to have the pieces that go from your fan to your fan blade. These are some light bulbs that came with it. This will be your light kit. And you have your light scones, or whatever you want to call them. And then you have some more glass pieces. This is the cap that's going to go up top against the ceiling. There's your 3-inch extension if you want to use that. And some screws, your pull chain, some wire caps, and then your fan motor, and then your light kit part is what's sticking up right here. I'll give you a pretty long amount of cord. If you want to use a 6-inch or maybe even a 12-inch, 18-inch extension, you can, depending on how long this wire is. Now for this application, I'm going to use the 3-inch extension, so you want to go ahead and unwrap that. And then put your wiring through the bottom of it, and you see this hole here, this hole right here, that will fit right into here. So you have to take this pin out and the cotter pin, and then that will fit into here. Go ahead and put those in there. And it doesn't matter what side these come up through. Now you will want to get this on first, because this is what's going to go, it's going to go through here, and then this piece will rest on this. So let's see here. I'll go ahead and unscrew these, turn it, pull it out. You don't have to take the other 2 screws out. Okay, and this is what's going to mount up to your ceiling. So right here and here, you put the 2 screws, and that'll go up into your ceiling. Now you may need to use this one because it may be specific for this type. Yeah, you'll need at least this ring to go through, and this can slide in and out if need be. So just that way, if you forget, as long as you put the ring on there, you can attach it later like that. Okay, once those are slid through, go ahead and pull that cotter pin, pull the pin out. You see what I did? I just unscrewed the 2 screws here. Okay. And what I'll do, I want to put these on the other side, because they have a ground screw on that side that's touching. Okay, so now you can see I got it on the other side. Okay, you may need to wiggle that pin in because of the wiring in the center there. Once it's through, Push that back on. Okay. And you can tighten these screws up. Once you have it properly assembled, you can take it out of the plastic and get it ready to go on to this that's up on the ceiling right now. Now I'm going to have to take my old mount out because these holes are not going to line up. If you look on the new one, they're a lot closer together, so it's just not going to work. Got to take this one out and replace it with this one. Now to get the new one on, just put it through the wiring. And then you'll want to put your screws into here and into there. And you just tighten those up. You'll want to center the mount before you do the final tightening of the screws or the bolts that you have. And I added a washer on my long screws here, just to make it a little more stable. So yeah, that's what it's going to look like. And then you'll want to lift this up a little bit and move this out of the way. And then this will be ready to put the fan piece on. Okay, if you could see this notch here, this is what's going to go into this notch right here. So you'll just want to face it that way. Wires out of the way. The Romex, whatever you want to call it, is out of the way. The wire bundle. Okay, and then once it's lined up with that notch there, it won't move around very well. You can't go left or right with it. You can't spin this at all. It's going to be stationary. So, and then the wiring is pretty standard. You'll want to cut some of this off depending on how much of an extension you used. So I'm going to cut it to say like right about here, and then I'll hook up the blue to the red for the light kit, because I have two separate switches, and then the black to the black, the white to the white, and then the green to the ground wire. And then also the green from the mount is right here, so you want to hook up all of those to the copper wire. Okay, you can just cut off a bunch of the excess wiring here. And you want to just strip the wiring. And these are 14, 16, 18, somewhere in there. So you just do maybe 3/8 of an inch and then pull back on it, and that will strip the wiring. So you want to do that for the neutral wire, the power wire, and then the power wire for the light. Okay, you'll want to use the smallest wire cap that you can, that way it won't pull out on accident. And like I said, just white to white, black to black, and then the blue to the red, or you might have a red coming from the fan also, and just put that to the red from the ceiling. And then your greens go to your ground, your copper wire. Now you may have no need for that blue wire or the red wire if you're not doing a light kit. So that is only if you're doing a light kit. And then if you only have one switch on your wall, you may be hooking up the blue to the black, and that way the switch will operate both the light and the fan. But if you have separate switches, you can hook it up separately. You know, it's like this will be the switch for the light, this will be the switch for the fan. Your neutral wire and then your ground wire. Now when you stuff everything back up in here, you'll want to try to keep your ground wires away from everything else if you can, if possible. And then also, if you want, you can wrap up each of these with a little bit of electrical tape just on the very end here, and just wrap it a couple times if you want. A little extra security. Okay, and then once you have your wires separated, you can put your ceiling cap back on, or on. You'll want to leave these 2 screws in, that way it's much easier to get up there and to lock it in place. There we go. And then those 2 screws you took out earlier, one will go here and one will go right there. Usually the manufacturer will install little rubber mounts in where the motor goes. So you'll need to take all those out and then keep the little bolts or screws, because you'll need to reuse those. Okay, once you get those rubber mounts off the motor, you can start setting up for your fan blades. And usually they're 2-sided, so whether you want a lighter side or a darker side is totally up to you. Just remember, when you put the metal piece down, that's the side that's going to be showing. So this side is the side that's going to be showing when you have it like this. Then you want to flip it over and then go ahead and put your screws into here, and then do that for all of your fan blades. Okay, now the screws, or the little tiny bolts for the fan blades, they usually have a rubber or a fiber washer. So just make sure you use the right hardware. Okay, once all your fan blades are done, you can go ahead and mount them to the fan. When you're screwing your fan blades up to the motor, you want to just do them one at a time. And there is a rubber mount here. You don't want to take that off unless the manual tells you to take that off. So just leave that on. And then whatever's easier for you. If you want to put one on one side, one on the other, you know, they're going to move around and rotate. So whatever's easier for you. You sort of have to hold the fan blade and the screw or the bolt and then get it up in the hole with a screwdriver. So whatever's easier for you, that's what you want to do. Now once you get one screw in on one of the blades, you may have to pull it one way or the other to get it to line up in the holes. So you can see how it's shifting. So just maneuver it back and forth till the second hole lines up. Once you get all the fan blade screws tight, you can go ahead and start on your light kit to where you'll have a red or a white, a blue and a white, black and a white, and one just plugs into the other. So I'll show you that. So the black is going to plug into the blue. And then the white will plug into the white. The white wire will plug into the white wire, and the black wire will plug into the blue wire. And then if the light kit's not too heavy, you can just let it hang until you take these screws out. And then you just stuff it in there. Make sure it lines up right. This usually goes where the switch is at, the reversing switch. So just make sure that this little cutout is lined up once you get your screws lined up. Okay, once you get the cap screwed in for your light kit, you want to go ahead and unscrew these. just unscrew them enough to where you can fit the scone in, or the glass piece in. And then you see this rubber band, that's going to be where the screws are going to touch. Push it up there and then screw in a little each side. Screw in it. Just screw each side in a little. You don't want to over tighten these because your glass will break, but just make sure they're tight enough to where they're not going to fall out. Okay, and then you just repeat that process for the other two, and then you go ahead and put your light bulb in. And then for your reversing switch, you will have, if it's in the summer position or the downward position, it's going to go this way, where your blades are going to angle this way as it rotates. They're going to come towards you like this. So it'll look like this in the summer position for cooling. Now if it's in the winter position, now it may be up or down. I'm just showing you how to switch it from one to the other. Now for the winter position, it's going to be going the opposite direction. And what it'll be doing, it'll be pulling air from the center of the room and blowing it out around the edges of your room and down. So that is to circulate air in the winter position. It'll circulate the heat around your room. And it'll scoop it up and push it towards the ceiling and out. So that's what this is for. That's your reversing switch. It just makes your blades go one way or the other. And then once you get all your scones on, or your glass pieces on, you can go ahead and put your pull chains on. Now this one will be for your light kit, for your light. And then this one will be for your fan. And usually you have three settings for your fan: high, medium, and low. This has been Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your next home or automotive project.